All right, we're back, giving all praise and glory to the Most High's word and the Most High. So we're looking at Genesis, the sixth chapter and the fourth verse. And it reads, there were giants in the earth in those days. So there were giants already on the earth. And also after that, it says, when the sons of the Most High came in or had sex unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown, right? So, understand this, the sons of the Most High are those that are the seed of Enos. Remember it said, then began men to call upon the Most High by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua in the name of the Lord and Savior. So, and it told you in St. John 1 and 12, but as many as received Hamashiach Yahushua gave he power, that spiritual power, to become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on by Hashem Hamashiach Yahushua in the name of the Lord and Savior. That's how we reach the Most High. And he said, no man comes to the Father but by him. So that's how we reach the Most High. You ask anything in my name, I will do it, that the Father can be glorified in the Son. You love me, keep my commandments. So this is how you become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of the Lord and Savior. Just receive the spiritual power from the Most High. That's why they were the sons of the Most High. First John, First John 3, and we're going to read 10, verse 10 to 12. First John 3 and 10. In this the children of the Most High are manifest, and the children of the devil. We covered this. Whosoever doeth not righteousness and keeping the laws of the Most High, Deuteronomy 6 and 25, is not of the Most High. You're not of the Most High. If you don't keep his laws, you're not of the Most High. Neither he that loveth not his brother. You don't love your brother, you're not of the Most High. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, let the devil get into his mind, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. See? So I say, when Most High is not evil, he created evil for those that draw evil to them. You draw the Satan to you, therefore you're going to deal with having an evil suspicion to make the wrong judgment, as Cain did from the beginning. Because his own works were evil. You hear that? And his brother's righteous. All he had to do was ask Abel for a lamb instead of trying to bring something that he done grew from the ground to the Most High. Most High said no remission of sin without the shedding of blood. Most High want a blood sacrifice. Period. So that's just the way it is. So when you look at go to Luke, 3rd chapter. Let's go back to Genesis. And let's read verse 3 of the 6th chapter. Genesis 6 and 3. Genesis 6 and 3. And the Most High said, my spirit shall not always strive with man. See, this man. Man. Not no giants or whatever. Man. For that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. That's the topic is man. See, there were giants in the earth in those days. Giant men. Tall, real tall men. Like Goliath was a giant that David slew. You know what I mean? There have been giants in the earth. You know, it was giants even when Columbus came to America before he got here. Giant Edomites over here eating up people and so forth. You see? Giants when they came out of the Caucasus Mountains compared to the Israelites that was ruling in 1453 in the Byzantine Empire. You know? Medieval times, the Dark Ages. They came out of the Caucasus Mountains. They were giants. We have pictures of them. They drew them in books and so forth. Compared to the Israelites at that time. Most High shrank our statutes to bring us into captivity, it says. So it is what it is. So look at Deuteronomy 32 and 4. Deuteronomy 32 and 4. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a power of truth, and without iniquity, just and right is he. It's the Most High. He is the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a power of truth, and without iniquity, without sins or wickedness, just and right is he. It's the Most High. See. Point blank. Genesis 6 and 1. Genesis 6 and 1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, men and daughters were born unto them. So men that are real tall had daughters that are real tall, and the men, sons of the Most High, got with these other nations, which is, Most High say he's not with interracial marriages. Remember that. That's why I went so clearly into that. So you see that this is abomination. This is something that's a wicked act. And us going as the children of Israel, the men of Israel, going with these other nations' women. He said because they're going to turn their mind away from the Most High. That's why you see what it says. In verse 2, that the sons of the Most High saw that the daughters of men, that they were fair, beautiful. And they took them wives of all which they chose, right? So we got to look at marriage. What's marriage? Took them wives of all that they chose. Look at marriage. Go to Exodus 22 and 16. Exodus 22 and 16. Exodus 22 and 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed or engaged to another man, and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. So a man entice a maid, a young woman of marital age, and entice her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. I mean, if he lay with her, then he endow her to be his wife. Okay? If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins, which is like 50 shekels, something like that, at that time. So, going to Deuteronomy 22. Deuteronomy 22, the law of marriage. Let you know, they took them to wives, that they got together with these heathens, these other nations, women. Hebrews 22 and, no, Deuteronomy 22, Salakia, and 28. Deuteronomy 22 and 28 and 29. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin represents a woman that has not had sexual intercourse or a woman of a marital age. That's a virgin, whether she had sex or not. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, not engaged to another man, she's not promised to another man, and lay hold on her and lie with her, he lay hold on her and he lie with her, meaning he have sexual intercourse with her, and they be found. They be found the fact that they had sexual intercourse. Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. That's the dowry. As I told you, 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. because he have humbled her, he may not put her away all his days. That's the law. The Most High hate divorce. That's why you gotta be sure that who you get it with, you make sure that you're gonna be with them. Now, look at verse 22, 27. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, so she's married to someone or promises someone. That's marriage too, because a lot of times you were promised to a woman and you knew that that's going to be your wife, because the parents determine the marriage a lot of times within our nation. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, but this woman is married to a man, then they shall both of them die. There's adultery. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, this is adultery. A man lying with a married woman, if she's married to a husband, then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman, so shall thou put away evil from Israel. So adultery was the verdict or the judgment of death. The man and a woman. She's married to a man and she go and lay with another man. Most I said put that man that lay with her and that woman to death. Why? So shalt thou put away evil from Israel. Verse 23, if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto an husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her. So this woman, this damsel, is engaged to another man, and a man find her in the city and lie with her. A man find her in the city and have sex with her. Then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city. And who's at the gates? The elders, to make the judgment. Bring them both out to the elders who are at the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. This is hey. She betrothed unto another husband, to a man. She's engaged to a man, and she lie with another man. Bring them both out before the elders and stone them with stones that they die. Verse 24. The damsel, because she cried not. This is the law, y'all. You got to hear what he's saying. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he have humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. Same thing he said in verse 22. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel. So the you are the Israelites. We put away evil from among us. Verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, this woman is engaged to another man, and a man force her, that means he rape her, and lie with her, have sexual intercourse with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. This is why. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises against his neighbor and slay him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried. She hollered, "Oh, rape, he's trying to rape me." She cried out, and there was none to save her. So that's what a woman's supposed to do. You don't cry out, then hey, you for it. Put them to death, both of them to death. But if that woman cried out, when that man tried to rape her, that somebody could hear her and come to her defense, that she's innocent. That's the law. She's innocent. But you see, a man lying with a woman means that he's going to endow her to be his wife. Let's see. So even when you look at this, Mary, Mashiach's mother, was engaged to Joseph. And if an other angel came down and had sex with her or impregnated her, that would be adultery. That would be adultery. Because she was promised to Joseph. But before they can come together for the wedding ceremony, as they call the reception, nowadays, where they had the reception where they had the virgin cloth that the woman would lay on, and then they would go into the wedding chamber. This is our custom. You have everybody's outside the hall, you could say, having a good time, and they go into this room, which is called the wedding chamber, and they have sexual intercourse. And she would bring the cloth of her virginity to her daddy, and he would keep it. If anything went down, to bring it to the priest, say, look, my daughter was a virgin. And here go the chastity club or the cloth that shows her blood from her hymen being broken by this man laying with her in the wedding chamber. When they come out, everybody have a good time. They married. That's how marriage was. So that would be against the laws of the Most High. And how would you feel, man, if your woman came and told you, I'm pregnant, and you know you ain't laid with her, but it ain't your baby? Who baby is it? An angel came down and had sex with me and gave me this baby, or put this seed in me. Where that seed come from? Because it tell you in Hebrews 7:14, it is evident that our power of Mashiach Yahushua sprang out of Judah, Jacob's fourthborn son. So look at Ecclesiasticus 42, the 47th chapter. In the Apocrypha, Ecclesiastes 42nd chapter and the 9th verse. It says, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth. That's why it's good for women to have a man rather than being by themselves. For the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep, thinking about making sure that the daughters is okay. Because you see when men come in, rape them or do whatever they're going to do, or somebody get in their ear, that's you know they're not virgins no more. This would be on a man's mind when you have daughters. The father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. The care for her taketh away sleep. You can't hardly sleep sometimes. When she is young, when she's a young girl, because you got cats now looking at young girls and say it's okay to have them at whatever age they want to. Unless she pass away the flower of her age, which is she start her cycle, and being married, that she should be hated. Meaning a man have sex with her and she gonna be hated. In her virginity, when she's a virgin, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house. Defiled. You already said this is happening all the time now. Lest she be defiled and gotten with child. She got pregnant in her father's house. Still living in her father's house. We know most of y'all is dealing with mother's house, but you get pregnant and you still in your father's house. And having a husband, because he done laid with her to become her husband, lest she should behave herself, and when she is married, lest she should be barren. But whenever she get married, she have sex, and the Most High don't allow her to have no children. That's why a man got to watch over the girls, his daughters and so forth. It tells you, keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, a daughter that's too wild. Keep a sure watch over her. Shameless, doing things and no shame in the game. Make her be respectable, as an Israelite woman should be. Lest, like I say, all the answers are here. Lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies. Ones that don't like you, they be laughing at you. Behind your back. Some of them probably in your face. You just can't realize it. And a byword in the city. A byword means they're going to start talking about her. Calling her different names and so forth. And a reproach among the people. And you too. A disgrace among the people. And make thee ashamed before the multitude. When you come around, so a lot of people going to be like, man, wow. You're going to be ashamed. When you come around a lot of people, they're going to know how to conduct yourself. Be like, man, be shameful. Let's get an example of marriage by sex. Go to our forefather, Judah. Go to Genesis 38 and 1. Genesis 38 and 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned in to a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her. So there's a Canaanite. And most I said we supposed to be dealing with these other nations, but he saw this Canaanite, whose name was Shua, and he took her and went in unto her, meaning he had sex with her. And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. So you see, he had sex with her, and she got pregnant. First son was named the next son was named Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son. I mean, he had sexual intercourse with her. She had another son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Shazib when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Most High, and the Most High slew him. Most High killed him. So, I'm just showing you here that sexual intercourse represented marriage, and this is what it is. And then, if you keep reading this story, our forefather Judah, he was supposed to give Tamar. Remember, we said the firstborn died, and the brother's supposed to take on the brother's wife to bring forth seed of that brother that died. That's the law. Verse 8, and Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. See? That's the law. But if you know the law, then what does that mean? Go to Deuteronomy, just the law, Deuteronomy 25 and 5. While Judah is telling his brothers, his sons, which his son had died, he told his other son, which is his son that died, brother, to go into Tamar, who was his first son's that died's wife, to bring forth seed of her brother. So her brother's name will continue to go on in this earth. This is the law. Deuteronomy 25 and 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, as we just read, Judah's son died, and have no child, you don't have a child, you don't have a child. The wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. She can't marry a stranger. Even in, because a stranger is somebody you don't know. Stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife. He shall have sexual intercourse with her, and that makes her his wife. The dead brother's brother. Go into the wife of the dead brother and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. You see that? That when she conceive and have a baby, this baby shall bear the name of the brother that died, that his seed or his name be not put out of Israel. Verse 7, and if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders. Like I said, the elders are at the gates all the time making a judgment, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, and say, my husband's brother refuses to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. Now you got to understand this. This brother could be married, the one that's living, and his brother died. He still got to perform the duty of the brother to the brother that died's wife, to bring forth seed that will be in the name of his brother. And the wife had to accept that he's married to. So when he says when he lay with her, that's going to make her his wife. Now, there's two wives right there. Just the law. Verse 7. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, meaning go in and have sex with her, to bring forth children in his brother's name, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders. That's where the elders were, to make a judgment, and say, my husband's brother refuses to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Hear that? The duty of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him. And if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders and loose his shoe from off his foot and spit in his face. Spit in his face. And shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto the man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that hath his shoe loosed. And everybody would know that he refused to bring forth seed of his brother that will be in his brother's name. That's the law. So, little meat to marinate on right there. So it's very important to see this in the spirit of the Most High, that we may operate in the right, proper way to be able to deal with this. So look at Luke, the 3rd chapter, the 23rd verse. Luke 3 and 23. Luke 3 and 23. And Amashiach himself began to be about 30 years of age, being as was supposed. Now that they added that in there. Anything you see in italics is added. Being the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli, which was the son of Matha, which was the son of Levi, which was the son of Melchi, which was the son of Jonah, which was the son of Joseph, going down the lineage, you see, all the way down to when you get to uh, uh, verse.
Q&A mode is on. Participants may now unmute themselves. Presentation mode is on. Only organizers can be heard.
So when you get to make sure this is on. Okay. When you look at this, when you get down to go to verse 31, which was the son. It's naming all the lineage going down. So we're gonna make it short. It say verse 31, which was the son of Meliah, which was the son of Menan, which was the son of Mathatha, which was the son of Nathan, which was the son of David. Jump to verse 34, which was the son of Jacob, which was the son of Isaac, which was the son of Abraham, which was the son of Terah, which was the son of Nahor. Then you come down to verse 36, which was the son of Canaan, which was the son of Arphaxad, which was the son of Shem, which was the son of Noah, which was the son of Lamech, which was the son of Methuselah, which was the son of Enoch, which was the son of Zered, which was the son of Melaleel, which was the son of Canaan, which was the son of Enos. Going back to Enos, remember I told you Enos. Then began men to call on Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushai, or Most High Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushai, which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of the Most High. So Adam was the son of the Most High, see? All his sons were too. Genesis 4, or to Genesis, the 4th chapter, and 17th and 18th verse. Genesis 4 and 17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, not the Enoch that we read about, just another Enoch. He built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. See? And unto Enoch was born Irad. So there's women in the earth, y'all, from these other nations. Now Irad begot Mehujael, and Mehujael begot Methuselah, and Methuselah begot Lamech. And Lamech took unto him 2 wives, the name of the one of Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. See? So he had 2 women that he took on, 2 wives. So Cain was the son of the Most High, like Abel was. So you're looking at you had, like I say, that lineage of Cain. You had the lineage of Cain, son of men. You had the son of Most High. That's from Enos. But men. I know aliens and all the things that people want to try and say are fallen angels. They were men that the Most High said. And they mingled with the daughters of men. And Cain had, you see, when he had all these different, they started having all these kids by these women. You see? So it's talking about Cain. He ran into the mountains of Nod, and he started having children. So he got, I mean, you see, they didn't marry no men, they married women. So women were on the earth at that time, and the seed of Cain grew. That's why by the time you get to Genesis 6th chapter, Israel is intermingling with the sons of the Most High, or the ones that call on the Most High about Shema Mashiach Yahushua to get to the Most High for the spiritual power that He's going to give them, went into these daughters of men. I mean, here they are right there. I mean, born over and over again. Look at Genesis 5. This is after Seth and Enos was born. Genesis 5:3. And Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his name, in his own likeness, after his image, and called his name Seth. That's Seth that we just read about in Genesis 4:25-26, okay? And the days of Adam after he had begot Seth were 800 years. After Seth was born was 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters after Seth. But remember, like we read in the lineage, going back to Adam, who was before Adam? Seth. Who was before Seth? Enos, that we just read about in Genesis 4:26. So it tells you in verse 4, and the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years. So 800 years after Seth was born, and he begot sons and daughters. See? Sons and daughters. 800 years is a long time. And he had sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years. And he died. Because most I say, once you eat of the tree or the knowledge of good and evil, you won't live a day. You shall surely die. You won't live a day. So he died at 930 years. He missed a day by 70 years. Day to the Most High is 1,000 years. Tell you that in 2 Peter 3:8. And Seth lived 105 years and begot Enos. You know, when he begot Enos, that was spoken of in Genesis the 4th chapter 26 verse. 807 years and begot sons and daughters. See? And after the days of Seth were 912 years and he died. And Enos lived 90 years and begot Canaan. And Enos lived after he begot Canaan 815 years and begot sons and daughters. So you see, sons and daughters are created. Who was who? Enos, who was the righteous, who was the one that the Most High allowed to call upon his name in the name of the anointed Savior, by Shema Mashiach Yahushua. So then begat men to call on the Most High, to become righteous, keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High under Enos. All the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. But he begot sons and daughters. So, and you see, you keep going down, the sons and daughters are being created. So by the time you get to Genesis 6th chapter, and it says, and it came to pass that when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, you see, multiplying, if you keep going through this lineage, you see, over and over again, they were getting sons and daughters, sons and daughters, sons and daughters. Men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. We just read this. Going down this lineage. Cain had lineage too. You see? In the land of Nod, we read about them too. That the sons of the Most High, who are the seed of Enos, saw that the daughters of men, these daughters of men, that they were fair, they were beautiful. And they took them wives of all which they chose. They took these wives of these other nations, women, that Most High created in, that's what I say, renowned, men of renown. This is the Most High created all these nations. Genesis 1 and 26. And the Most High said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. That's plural. The Most High of Mashiach Yahushua. Because Ephesians 3:9 says the mystery that's been hid in the Most High, who created all things by Mashiach Yahushua. So he's saying, the Most High said, let us make man in our image. after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Right? So now, verse 21. That's when the Most High made man in his own image. But verse 21 is when he created all these other nations. And the Most High created great whales and every living creature that moveth. You hear that? Every living creature that moveth. Don't we move? And we are considered creatures also. Which the waters brought forth abundantly. What waters he talking about is hip talk. The waters, the sperm, the copulation, the lineage, after their kind. And every winged fowl after his kind, and God Most High saw that it was good. So he started creating every creature, every living creature that moveth. Now, we are creatures. We're considered creatures also. See if I can find that for you. Look at one I know is 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, and verse 17. 2 Corinthians 5 and 17, pertaining to us being creatures. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if any man be by Hashem Mashiach, you rolling in the name of the Lord and Savior, going to the Most High for the spiritual power that the Most High will give you, he is a new creature. See that? So the Most High call us creatures. He is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. See? So we're considered creatures. So Most High made every living creature. That's these other nations, which the waters brought forth. Don't get it twisted. I mean, you look at Isaiah 48 and 1. Isaiah 48 and 1. Like I said, it's hip talk, but it's understood through the mysteries that the Most High has revealed to his servants, the prophets. Isaiah 48 and 1. Hear ye this, O house of Israel, of Jacob, family of Jacob, which are called by the name of Israel. We the Israelites. And we call by the name of Israel, Yasharallah. And are come forth out of the waters of Judah. Hear ye this, O house of Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel, which are called by the name of Israel, and are come forth out of the waters of Judah. The waters of Judah. All 12 tribes come from the waters of Judah. And Judah represent the so-called Negroes today. So all 12 tribes come out of the waters of Judah. Like when you read, everything comes from the waters. Go back to Genesis, the 1st chapter. We know in the beginning, the Elohim, the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua created the heaven and the earth. Verse 2 of Genesis 1st chapter. And the earth